Hey, what's up you guys, and welcome back to Coast to Coast. Today we're exploring a dish from Boston, Massachusetts. That's probably one of New England's most iconic dishes, and that is New England Clam Chowder.
Is that the red or the white?
God, I can never remember that. All right. In goes the bacon. New England Clam Chowder is one of my absolute favorite soups of all times. It's rich and hearty. It's great for winter weather when it's nice and cold outside. I've actually been waiting to cook this one on my show for a long time, and it's about 20-30 degrees outside, and I think now is the perfect time. This is one of those great recipes that you can kind of do your mise en place or your prep while you're cooking. Just start that bacon, let that simmer away. That's gonna probably take about 5 to 10 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and start chopping our onions and our celery. Diced up bacon is just about perfect. I'm gonna take a slotted spoon and remove this crispy bacon, and then we're gonna saute up our diced up onions and celery right into this bacon fat. We wanna add some salt, fresh cracked pepper. And while those are sauteing, we wanna prep the next ingredients that we're gonna need. And for that, I'm gonna press about 3 or 4 cloves of garlic, and we wanna peel 2 pounds of Yukon Gold potatoes. And for this kind of a chowder, I definitely prefer Yukon Gold potatoes. They're a little bit more waxy, not quite as starchy as like a russet potato. When you cut your potatoes, you wanna keep them kind of small. You don't want them to be too clunky in the soup. All right, we pretty much got these onions and celery right where we want them. Now let's go ahead and add our garlic. Saute this for about a minute just to get that garlic nice and fragrant. Now I'm gonna add some fresh thyme, a little bit of Worcestershire, a couple dashes of Tabasco, bay leaves. Using that Worcestershire, we want to scrape up all the fond on the bottom of the pan, all that good brown bits that kind of stuck to the pot. So there's 2 schools of thought on this. My preference and what I'm going to do is actually add the flour right now. This will combine with that bacon fat and give us a nice roux that we're going to cook down for a couple minutes. Start putting in our potatoes. Another way to do it is to add your clam juice or any stock that you want to use. And then you can make a slurry with your flour and cream at the very end and thicken it at the end. And now we're gonna put in our clam juice, our chicken stock. Then we're gonna cover this up. We're gonna simmer this for about 20 to 30 minutes while I get all cleaned up. All right, the chowder's been simmering for about 20 minutes and the potatoes are nice and tender. I just added 1 quart of heavy cream, and I wanna bring this back up to a gentle simmer. Now that this is gently simmering, I can go ahead and add in my chopped clams and half of my bacon. Now that the clams are in, we definitely don't wanna bring this up to a boil. That'll make the clams a little tough and chewy. So I'll let this simmer for about 5 more minutes, and then we'll get ready for chow time. I do have to mention that one of the best clam chowders I've ever had was at a seafood restaurant that I used to work at in Newport Beach, California, called Blue Water Grill. I ate that chowder all the time, and one of my favorite ways of preparing it was to top it with a little bit of Worcestershire and Tabasco and some oyster crackers. And of course, we're gonna also add a little bit of bacon to that. One of the reasons that we have such great craft beer today is because of Jim Koch and what he did at the Boston Beer Company in the mid-80s and early 90s. So today I'm pouring Sam Adams Cream Stout with our New England Clam Chowder. All right, let's see what we got. That is so good. So with beer pairings, you either want to compare or contrast, and this is the perfect example of a comparison beer. There's a creaminess both in the beer and in the chowder. There's a creaminess, a roastiness, and almost a smokiness that you get out of both the beer and the chowder. You get the smokiness from the bacon and from the toasted grain in that stout, but both of them are super creamy and absolutely fantastic. Please let me know if you guys ever tried this recipe. I'd love to hear what you think. If you feel that I represented Massachusetts well, give me a like, share with your friends, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time. Yeah, man.